Hello everybody, welcome back to Nukeshot Media and round 0 technically of the Capital NASCAR Cup Series. We're here for the Duel at Daytona. This will be setting the qualifying order for the Daytona 250, which is scheduled to happen next week if all goes well. I'm of course Zokyo here on the channel, bringing you the action live here on Nukeshot Media. Still getting used to a slightly different setup here in the studio. Hope all the audio and such is a-okay at the moment. We've got a decent turnout here, as you can see. There you see Ray driving for the home team, Nukeshot Motorsport, in the number 5 car. We've got Matteo here in the WeatherTech branded machine, car number 12. And we've got several cars in the pits right now. We've got Taters, who you will have seen on the channel before. Plenty of the regular hosts of drivers here. We've got Kirby making their way out of the pits in what I believe is the Nintendo car. Car 38 is that, I believe? Taters in the pits as mentioned. We've got Mateus here as well, and Shadow. Be sure to let me know how the audio and such is doing for this. So yes, the Capital NASCAR Cup Series. We're using the Nissan Silvia Group 4 as a base model. All of them the exact same. Has got an engine swap in it. It's a naturally aspirated V8, capable of hitting, well, as you can see there, 193 miles an hour with a bit of a tailwind. I'll actually pull up the full stats of the cars here. 527 horsepower and 1,184 kilograms. And we've got a race director here, Aiden. So they'll be doing a good job, I'm sure. And expect this to be similar in style to the Blue Moon Bay 200 that we've had before on the channel. So, of course, oval racing, plenty of slipstream, but these cars heavier and less downforce. So they are able to run flat out around this circuit. Ray practicing the high line at this point. Got a bit of side-by-side action there. I think a smidge of a lag spike may have sent Matteo into Kirby. Kirby in the slipstream of car number 12. Sparking out all over on the banking. We've also got Dominic Kubinski here as well. There, making his way out the pits. And did I mention Shadow earlier? I'm not too sure. I'm going to check the comments while we're here. Hello to Malro and Iverslav. Race is scheduled to start in about 7 minutes, I believe. As mentioned, this is the first part of Speed Weeks here at the Daytona International Speedway in Florida. It is the Duel at Daytona. So 50 laps, 125 miles. And this will not be awarding points, it is just going to set the qualifying order for the race happening in about a week's time. As Dominic disconnects from the lobby, hopefully they'll be joining back. So I hope you're all looking forward to this one. There are, I believe, still spaces on the entry list, so be sure to check the server out. There's a link to the Nukeshot Discord in the description, and from there I can most likely guide you to this server. We're aiming to broadcast the whole of the season here on Nukeshot Media, so plenty to look forward to. And of course it would be great to have plenty turning out for the crown jewel of the season, the Daytona 250. That's happening in a week's time. If you are looking forward to this, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to catch the rest of the season with your notifications. The grid is in the process of being set. We did actually have a Clash at Suzuka race, which unfortunately I wasn't around to televise, but we're using that to set the grid order for the duels head for Team 1. Just checking some things on the tablet. Bit of a scare, it was on completely dead, was the tablet, so now charging up. Wow, we're up to 12 viewers. That is fantastic to see, considering we've not even started much. 15? I'm getting a notification on my TV screen. That's fantastic to see. Hope you're all looking forward to the event. We are here for the Clash at... No, it's not the Clash, apologies for that. It's the Duel at Daytona. The title will probably have given that away. Decent turnout here. And again, I strongly encourage you all to check out the server. I'll be able to direct you if you head on over to the server link in the description. This, of course, ran by the Capital Leagues Association, part of the Sim Racing Federation group. Dominic being told to lengthen 6 gear. Slipstreaming definitely going to be a factor here, as you might imagine. So they're doing a little bit of testing. I remember I did, as one of the team owners, I have set up a trick gearbox, which is similar to what I do with the IndyCar style races, where 6th gear is exclusive for slipstreaming and fuel saving. So it's essentially a 5-speed for everything else. Be interesting to see if anyone else has done that. Oh, possibly. TCR Kirby's running possibly even more of a trick gearbox there. He's running 5th gear. There will be a formation lap, of course. The race director will be dealing with all of that. It's just my job to do the commentary. Thank goodness for that. I can barely do that half the time. Notice that with this engine swap, these cars make a fantastic noise. That V8 engine, naturally aspirated as mentioned. It's a shame it doesn't develop overly much power. It's just a bit over 500. But that's the way it be. Because they're also running on sports hard tyres, you may have noticed, so that's to sort of simulate the more heavy feeling and slightly more slidey nature of a stock car. Because of course we can't get the weight up quite as much, and again, less power. But they're still able to hit decent speeds, as you can see, 188 miles an hour. That's with a headwind as well. Wind speed and direction is going to play a significant part in this. Kirby running sort of a middle line, going back low on corner exit. And at the moment it is Dominic Kubinski who has the fastest lap, as practice is continuing, although they are in slipstream, so that is going to be skewed a little bit. They're catching up to Ray, the 2 pink cars on circuit. Looking towards the high side, trying to see if there's a way past. Very easy to wobble the car mid-corner as you're just trying to get a constant steering angle. A bit trickier if you're on controller. There's some bump drafting going off. This is the one time that bump drafting on this channel is legal, is with this series, so that's something to get used to. Car 72 again looking for a way past. Can't quite find it, but the bump drafting being effective. Both Dominic and Ray at the top of the timesheets at the moment. Again, this is just as the grid is being set and procedures are underway. We should be getting the race started relatively soon. Across the line, and by a thousandth of a second, well, I guess they were bumper to bumper the whole time around, Ray goes to the top of the timesheets. 45.9. I believe by themselves they'll be running 47.2s or something around that. Be interesting to see how this plays out. I've not commentated a NASCAR race before, so apologies if I'm a little bit different to the norm with that particular style. But I have done the Blue Moon Bay 200 before. That's the closest thing I've done for oval racing at least. But I hope you're all looking forward to it. There you see Shadow in the McDonald's car, number 18. Holding that middle line. Seems like Mara's also here as well now. There's a pack of 3 making their way down the back stretch. It looks like Dominic has managed to get by Ray. So, oh, Ray looking to the inside. Can't quite make that one stick. Would have to go below the yellow line in order to do so. And now that's allowed Taters to close up quite significantly. And it's a 3-car train. Interesting to see how this goes. Oh, very close with the car coming out of the pits. That would be Mateus and the KFC car. Plenty of Toyotas in the field, I've noticed. My team, Nukeshot Motorsport, running Fords. Ray being the only one here today. Unfortunately, Blassie, other car, not able to be here today, but hopefully should be back for the Daytona 250 in a week's time. Tater's looking for a way past, and Tater's actually gone fastest of all. Oh, big crash. That is a big one. Running against the safer barrier there. May potentially have been a caution if it was during race conditions. We shall see. I'm checking the officials chat. Okay, so it looks like the start has been delayed a little bit. I'm assuming that's because Mara was in the process of joining. So, well, Mara's here now, so should get this underway. That's the Celsius number 88. Being bump drafted there with Matteo. Those two, I believe, are brothers actually, Mara and Matteo, so we'll see how that goes along. Oh, it's a Chevrolet Camaro there as well. That's one of the few in the field. As mentioned, it's mainly Toyotas here. Well, they're all technically Nissans, but we don't speak about that. I don't know why I just did that. Was someone using a horn? Is that what I was hearing? What is going on out there? All sorts of chaos. Now it's Matteo and Mateus This is going to be absolute commentator's nightmare. We've got Matteo, Mateus, and Mauro, all M's. Oh, someone new's here, Oreo. I must admit I haven't seen them before. But if they're competing, then fair enough, welcome. Provided all the paperwork and stuff's in order. Dominic doing some Slide McGee moments in the Rogue Energy 72. All heavily into the wall. And I'm sure the groundskeeper will be appreciating this. It's like he's won the race. He's doing a burnout in the grass. Oh dear. Oh, right, okay, so there's a whole process of things going on here, it seems, on the Discord. So Mauro's got another friend who's potentially on the way. The field fillers are on the way. Apologies for the delayed start. Normally the start would be at 2:45 the hour. In the UK it would be 6:45, that's where I'm based. But because there's no qualifying this time around, because we had that at the Clash at Suzuka, it was going to take place, the race was starting 15 minutes early, but it seems that we're pretty much going on to the normal time slot instead then. Well, any predictions in the chat, be sure to let me know. Glad that the grid's expanding as we speak. Again, as mentioned earlier, be sure to check out the link in the description. That'll take you to the Nukeshot Discord server. And from there, I'll be able to direct you, if you at me on there, to this series, where you can find out how to sign up. I believe there's still spaces. Certainly, if there aren't even full-time spaces, there's definitely reserve slots that will most likely be pretty much full-time. So through all of that, Dominic is the current fastest. Oh, never mind, it's actually Tatos. Must have missed that. It's just because he's at the top of the timesheet, but he's in the pits. Yeah, looks like things are going to get underway. I'm a little bit concerned that the newcomers won't have the full knowledge of the formation lap procedure and such. We'll see how that goes. If anything, it's at least a test run, I suppose. The upcoming race. Malro's sliding about. Cars are going backwards. Oh dear. Fantastic. Sky colour over there as well, that orange as it's setting. Track temp will be colder than it will be for the 250. It's Ray that's the host of the lobby, so Ray's going to be the one. There we go. Here we go then. Formation lap. The grid has been set, and it is Taters who I believe won the or at least was the highest placed car from the Clash at Suzuka. That is leading them off. Making their way off on the formation lap now. And the race director organising things nicely. Bit of weaving going off, getting the tide temps up. Seems like the leader's also using the hazard light. So who do we have here then? We've got car 19, that's Taters in the Best Pro Shops car. That's a Toyota Camry. And another Camry, I believe car 18, yep, the McDonald's Camry of Shadow. Those two, I believe, are teammates as well. We've got Ray in third, car 5, the Monster Pipeline Punch Ford. Mateus will start from fourth in the KFC Camry, I believe that is. We've got Kirby here as well. Most likely also in a Camry. That's the Nintendo sponsored number 38 car. Dominic Kubinski in car number 72 for Rogue Energy. 7th place we've got Matteo in the WeatherTech number 12 Camry. And 8th place we've got Mauro in that Celsius Chevrolet. And Oreo, who's running a different rear wing configuration and illegal livery due to no numbers and such, but they are here. They're at the back of the grid. So a 9-car race, 50 laps. We're about to get this one underway. Thanks for your patience. The cars making their way towards the Advent Health start zone. Also Geico sponsorship there. The cars making their way towards the start. Taters gets on the gas, and we are racing here at Daytona. Looks like a good jump there by Ray at the start, getting up a position, moving to the outside lane. The cars getting up to speed. Some of them a little bit further behind. They've got to be careful that they don't lose the draft. And actually Ray is dropping back now as the positions continue to shift. It looks like Shadow's going for the lead. We're 3 wide for the lead. Dominic Kubinski takes the lead. There you see 2 cars at the back. That is Mauro and I believe also, was that Oreo was their name? At the back of this field. But Dominic trying to be strong and leading at the front. First lap in the books. This is all to set qualifying positions for the Daytona 250, remember. No points on offer, but certainly a lot of pride. And of course that all-important pole position. Dominic looking strong at the moment. Ray making a little bit of a comeback. The 2 pink cars were working together in practice with 3 wide for second. And it looks like Taters from pole position has been shuffled back quite a bit. They're back down in 7th, perhaps just hanging back deliberately. Here you see 8th place is Mauro, 9th place is Oreo, that was indeed their name. But it's pretty much a pack of 7 at this stage. Shadow leads across the stripe. 194, just touching 195 in the corners momentarily there. Onto the back straight. There you can see how things are playing out. The top 3 starting to break away just a little bit. Ray to the inside. But no one to go with her at this stage. Needs Dominic to catch back up, do some bump drafting, which is allowed in this series, of course. It looks like Dominic might be a bit more interested in making an overtake rather than the bump drafting. Although Ray does get to the lead of this. And oh, okay. Maybe a little bit of bump drafting going off now. Top 7 still together. Really difficult for Mauro and Oreo to catch up, especially Mauro, considering they probably would have been more prepared with the setup. But once you lose the draft, it is so difficult to catch back up. We saw that at the Blue Moon Bay 200. Oh, there's a big crash into the wall. That was the 18 car. That's Shadow up into the wall. Got to be careful to not lose that slipstream. It looks like they may have actually lost the slipstream. How far back are they? We're going to go on board in the corners. Oh, that's going to be tricky to recover from. And in fact, the teammate Taters is trying to drop back a little bit, I think. Chain Shadow back onto the slipstream, but has to be careful not to lose the slipstream himself. Interesting stuff. Meanwhile, the two pink cars, they're not technically teammates, but they are working together. Car 5 leads from car 72. Starting to make a little bit of a break, are they? Oh, some shuffling around here. Bit of weaving on the straight from Kirby in the Nintendo car, that metallic green coloured machine. And that strategy hasn't worked. It looks like Taters has now lost the draft. These two are going to have to stop bump drafting if they're going to have any chance of catching the lead pack. If anything, they're overtaking each other. It looks like Shadow's trying to go back ahead for the lead. Ray still leads at this stage. The top two are unable to break away, even despite the bump drafting. As I adjust my seating position, premium commentary here on Nukeshot Media. All getting very dicey at the front. Gotta be careful that they don't do the bump drafting slightly wrong and end up spinning each other into the wall. Those sports hard tyres making that a bit more of a possibility. There's also a slight chance with the net code. At this stage, it seems they're content to run as they are. They see that 6th gear of Ray Racing and switching down to 5th. That's that trick gearbox I was on about. 5th, pretty much good for being in the power band when you're running by yourself. 6th, good for saving a bit of fuel and slipstreaming. Top two breaking away a little bit again. Kirby still holds 3rd. Mateus not challenging for that 3rd spot as of yet. Mateo content to hold on to 5th. Best of the drivers from Panama. Of course, the brothers, Mateo and Mauro. And Shadow has managed to catch back up meanwhile and has got into 5th place. So, starting to get back into the swing of things. Shadow actually has the fastest lap of the race as well, so good on the two teammates there of Capital, working together and have both now caught up to the slipstream again. But it really does look like Mauro and Oreo are pretty much long gone. They can't even save much fuel together. Now Kirby's looking a bit closer than he had been before, and maybe these two extra cars coming into the pack again will enable some shuffling of positions, some more strategic plays. Again, Kirby dropping back a little bit. Side by side for 5th and 6th. That's Mateo trying to battle back in the WeatherTech machine. Car 12 versus car 18, the McDonald's Camry. Is the lone Ford that is up front at this stage. Against a swarm of Toyotas. Onto the backstretch they go. Mateus looking to be a decent bit closer. The top 4 very close this time. And still, it looks like Shadow trying to go for the high side. It's working out decently for them as soon as I say that they drop back a bit. Well, we're past the 1/5 distance marker here at Daytona. probably be coming up to Oreo in the form of lap traffic at some point. Never mind, they've just, as soon as I said that, left. Wasn't really much they could do on short notice, and with losing the draft, some shuffling of positions. Oh, there's a car on the infield. Car into the wall, that's a big one. Mateus goes round. Taylor's also involved. That's potentially a caution. Pit's closed. I think that is going to be a caution. The speed limit for the caution's not officially been called, and they are technically still racing out there. It's only the pits that have been closed according to the race director. And the caution is officially out. Oh, that was a scary one. Cars slowing down. And through that first phase of the race, it is Ray at the front here at Daytona. And this caution is exactly what Mauro needed after losing the draft. Car 88 making their way back. And I wouldn't be surprised if when the pits open we see a lot of cars pitting mainly for fuel, probably go for tyres as well. Depends if you want to make a bit of track position. I suppose you'd probably not take tyres. Tyres should, by the way they're wearing, last all the way to the end without having a need to be changed. Pits are open this time by. Thank you, race director, for that. So as it stands, it is Ray in the 5, from Dominic in the 72. The 18 of Shadow managed to get up to 3rd. So good recovery by them. Kirby in 4th, Matteo in 5th, Matteo 6th. Taylor's in 7th. So 6th and 7th were the ones involved in that big wreck. And 8th place is Mauro. Now we haven't seen what Mauro is able to do with the slipstream, whether their car is capable of running at the same speed as everyone else. Oh, a bit of contact under caution there. That's Taylor's and Mateus. We'll see if we can catch what happened there again while we're under caution. Is it just getting... there's an accordion effect, it seems. And there wasn't any contact between these two. Making their way towards the pits this time by then. Would be surprised if any of them stayed out, to be honest. Oh, never mind. About half the field stays out, half the field goes in. I believe we're still under caution. It seems these cars have acted like we're starting the race again. The race director's going to have to sort this one out. I'd be surprised if we've gone back racing, because the green flag hasn't been announced in the chat. And it looks like Kirby and Matteo have indeed slowed down. Ray and Shadow still going at it. They're now being told They're slowing down. They'll probably wait until the rest of the pack has caught up. It seems that the green flag has flown for this set of cars. I wonder if the race director is going to throw another caution just to get the field back together again after this sort of mix-up. Oh, car has spun anyway. So, what's happened here? This was Taters? And there is another caution. Taters getting involved in 2 incidents. Then we're going to have to check this one out again from another camera angle. It looks like he just got sandwiched between the 25 and the 72. Tried to go one way, but got a push at the wrong time for that. Sent up into the wall. And frankly, I'm just glad that this caution has come out, because that means the field gets to close up again. All good practice and procedure for when we get to the Daytona 250. Cars will be bunching up again. Oh, a bit of a drifting going off here to keep the tyres warm. That's ill-advised. There is a horn being used there as well. Well, I hope you're all enjoying the action so far. Again, be sure to leave a like if you are. Hello to Mauro again in the chat, who's currently in 7th place. So I'm assuming that the pits are going to open this time by. Yep, thanks race director. So the pits will open. The race will not go to green at the time that they come across the line this time by, unlike what Shadow and Ray seem to think on that occasion. Maybe that was why they chose to stay out, actually. Was if they thought it was going to go back to green that time by. We'll see if anyone pits again. Depends how much fuel they need. It looks like the cars that did pit took on full fuel. So they'll probably pit again and take the extra bit of fuel again. And of course the cars that didn't pit are going to lose more time being stopped for longer with the fuel. So, battle of the pit crews here. Oh, okay. Kirby's going for track position here. Car 38 staying out. Does anyone else? It looks like Mauro and Taylor's both are. Interesting call. Also interesting that Mauro didn't take tyres. So Kirby hasn't made a stop at all. There you see the pit crews at work. That's the Nukeshot Motorsport crew there. Fueling up. We're expecting, yep, Dominic took the stop that first time by. Didn't have much to fuel up, and that is going to put Ray at the back of the field, having to fuel up for longer. So the order as we are coming up to the restart will be Kirby in the lead, car 38, the Nintendo Camry, followed by the Chevrolet of Mauro, the Celsius car. I'm not sure why the green flag's been called on the back stretch. looks like we are racing again. Uh, 20 laps down, 30 to go. Top 4 are pretty much in their own pack after all of that. Meanwhile, Shadow and Mateo battling together. Bit of bump drafting going off there, and the two pink cars once again together, but this time at the back of the field it is Dominic ahead of Ray. Really unfortunate with the strategy call, not pitting that first time by, but this restart on the backstretch I'm sure wasn't meant to happen. Should note that it is a stand-in race director, so we do thank them for being able to stand in, but mistakes perhaps somewhat expected with the handling of things. It is also early on in the season. And after all this, I'm going to hope that there is another caution. The 3 wide for 5th, it looks like, as Ray's making moves up the field. Sort of pack of 4. Oh, it looks like the field is starting to close up naturally. Tater's at the head of the field now in the Bass Pro Shops Toyota. What's the gap between these? Oh, okay, so everyone is bunching up again. That's at least good for fairness, I suppose. They may actually be in a voice chat and sort of coordinating this out of fairness. And now we have a pack of 8. As Ray goes to the lead. That was fast. Hold on, is there a problem with some of these cars, or were they just waiting up? Because that was really strange how Ray got to the lead again through all of that. With 3 wide, back to 2 wide. Ray now going down to 4th. It's the 2 capital cars at the head of the field, managing both lanes, it seems. Oh, Taylor's moves up the track a little bit. Shuffles Shadow to the outside, the high side, and as a result, Shadow starts dropping down the order a little bit. And in fact, the 2 pink cars are now back at the front of the field. Car 5 ahead of car 72. More battling going off here for 3rd. The top 2 are starting to break away a little bit. If they get to around the 7/10ths mark, which it looks like they just about are doing so, I reckon that they could potentially be breaking away from the whole rest of the pack. Indeed, it's getting up to a 2nd. The top 2 are breaking away here. And there's more squabbling going off here. There's a car going below the yellow line that may have just been netcode or lag. That would be the Chevrolet Camaro of Mauro, the Celsius car, number 88. That gap continuing to grow, 1.4 seconds. It's Shadow that's currently in 3rd at the head of the 2nd pack. There you can see the gap in real time. It's starting to shrink a little bit. Now it seems that the rest of the cars are starting to get their act together, starting to work together a little bit more. Shadow, interestingly, hasn't changed tyres, so went for some track position at some point on one of those pit sequences. But those right side tyres are starting to wear a bit, and that's going to make the car a bit more unsettled in the event of contact, especially mid-corner. Compared to Mateus and Taters, who are on new tyres, Kirby yet to make a pit stop at all. It's the only car that hasn't, and Kirby's going to have to pit at some point by themselves, so potentially they're going to lose out as we see Shadow making a move on the outside. They get up to second. Do they have the momentum to get by on the high side? That car is really fast by itself. We're just losing a little bit of the momentum. They've got help from the teammate. A bit of side drafting perhaps going off as well. Making their way up in the Shadow on the high side. Neck and neck with Ray. Car 5 and car 18 making their way out of turn 4 and towards the tri-oval. Looks like Ray just about holding onto the position. I'm going to assume that everyone has to make at least one more pit stop. The main disadvantage is going to be from Kirby having to spend time not in the slipstream pack and therefore losing time, even though they will have only made one pit stop. Pack really closing up here. Shadow's managed to get between the two pink cars. This could be crucial. Of course, the two pink cars aren't teammates, but they have certainly been working together very well. And splitting them apart has certainly bunched the field up again, although they've managed to get back together. We're approaching the 3/5 gone marker. This is all to decide the qualifying positions for the Daytona 250 coming up next week. Again, be sure to check the description for a link to the Discord server, and from there I'll be able to guide you over to where you need to go if you want to be involved in this action. This has been thoroughly entertaining so far. Been some hiccups at times with the race control and drivers not necessarily following procedure, but it's all part of a new series. Is learning the workings of such. These Toyotas all working together quite well. Still the Ford that leads out front. Because where else do you lead? I don't know. Oh dear. Now Mateus has managed to shuffle his way to second place. Getting in between the two pink cars there. And into the pits goes Kirby. We expected that. Kirby's going to be by himself for quite a while, unless some cars also go into the pits, just to see if they can make their final stop at this point. Which they may be able to, but then again, why would you want to help out someone where you don't have to in this competitive field? Side by side, Shadow goes back ahead of Mateus on the backstretch. We're getting into the money portion of the race here. Shadow really closing up, can't go below that yellow line of course. NASCAR law forbids it. He has got to the inside of Dominic. Ray's been doing a really good job of controlling that bottom line there. Really been making it difficult for anyone to find a way past, although Shadow just about has. If Shadow can clear Ray here, That could make things difficult. It looks like they're going to get a bit of help, and yes, we do have a new leader, the 18 McDonald's car of Shadow. Good move there. Now, how does Ray handle the traffic? Trying to fight their way back to the front. Perhaps just gonna sit back and slipstream out. No, trying to make the move on the outside this time by. There's a little bit of assistance up there. We're nearly 3 wide. Dominic getting a little bit shaky up high. The tyres are wearing as well. Neck and neck. And Ray does manage to get back into the lead quite efficiently. We've got a car that is dropping back. That's Matteo. Is getting close to losing the draft in the WeatherTech number 12. They might be paused, or they've just got their hazard lights on. They've got to be careful they don't lose the draft. We're going to also check in on Kirby. There they are by themselves on the back stretch. Really losing a lot of time. They needed someone to pit with them as a slipstream partner. Maybe if they had a teammate or something in this. They may have a teammate in this, I'm not too sure. Interesting now, Shadow up front by himself. Managed to get a bit of a gap. That car's been very quick at times, running by itself. So, could potentially mount a charge late on in this. It's become a top 5 here, as I think the Celsius car's also dropping back a bit there of Mauro. Sort of perhaps helping his brother out there, trying to catch back with the slipstream. Oh, big chop there by Ray. Chopping across the front. Got to be very careful of that. At these super speedway races, it is allowed, but you just don't want to turn yourself over the nose of someone. Oh, trying to get that side draft, but very nearly tapping that quarter panel and potentially spinning a car around. Oh, to the high side. Mateus looking for a way by, nearly into the wall. The pack of 7 continues relentlessly. Shadow dropping back a little bit. All of these are going to have to pit one more time. How much fuel do they need? Who's been saving the best? Well, it seems that Taters has probably been saving the best. He's lifting off at times to save fuel. Looking at that on the data, that's interesting. And he has been saving a lot of fuel compared to some of the others. Mateus also has actually been hanging back, saving the fuel. Mateus could potentially... No, I don't think he could go to the end. But with green flag stops, probably has a good chance of getting out with good track position. But again, he'd just end up being by himself, and then the horde of cars will end up catching with the slipstream. Even if they don't have his slipstream, they'll be slipstreaming each other and ultimately just catch back up. But it is track position, and that is what you need in the late portion of the race. It looks like the 2 pink cars are very similar on fuel. They'll probably be pitting before lap 40, I'd imagine. Oh, there's a car in the wall! Car in the wall! That is Taters. He gets going again, though. Holds on to it. He goes into the pits. He dives for the pits. Ray trying to dive for the pits as well, going on the grass. Maybe they were expecting a caution out of that. And there is a caution. Cars have managed to get to the pit road. It was a nudge from their teammate sending them up into the wall. That car has been unstable. And then diving into the pits, both of the pink cars. Looks like one of them may have missed it, actually. And the caution is out. Now they will be able to fuel to the end from here. And I tell you what, this is what Kirby needed for sure. in order to catch back up to the rest of the pack. I'm gonna check in on the replay again. I want to see which of the pink cars it was that didn't make it into pits. One of them missed it. There we saw the ailing Taters. Okay, Ray goes in. It was Dominic that ended up going across the grass and missed pit lane. Had to go back on circuit and then got reset by the game. But thankfully, able to catch back up. A message there from the race director or possibly Taters. Just cluing in the race director there. So through all of that, Shadow, who was the one that nudged their teammate into the wall that time by, is the current leader. Oh dear. There's a car that's gone into the pit lane. That's Dominic. Dominic into the pits. The pits have not been opened as far as I'm aware. This is perhaps emergency service if it was sports car racing. Because of the fuel. He's certainly taking more than the normal amount you'd be allowed with emergency service. Pits are now open, you see. Dominic should have stayed out and tried to eke it out on mix 6. I think that may be a penalty. Maybe the crew chief gets suspended for that team, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, there are no points on the line here, but there is track position for the Daytona 250. Hope you're all enjoying the live stream. Be sure to leave a like if you are. Consider subscribing for the rest of the season. This is Nukeshot Media broadcasting the Capital NASCAR Cup Series. We are live here at Daytona, the home of NASCAR racing. Of course, they used to race on the beach here on the sand. Things have gotten a bit more advanced here in modern day. Pits are open. Some of these will be able to stay up. Why on earth has Shadow not gone into the pits? That is bizarre. I don't know what's happened there. Did they miss seeing the pitting call? That the pits were open? Oh, there's a car sliding around again. That's Dominic. Oh dear. Keeping the tyres warm. Some people do turn the Nissan Silvia into a drift car. Oh, what on earth's happening now? Alright, it's a double file restart then. So that was just Tater's typing the chat going into auto drive, so he'll shuffle back into position. And I'm really not sure why Shadow didn't pit, because they can't get to the end on fuel, and their tyres are looking decently worn as well compared to the rest of the field. The cars are forming up in double file restart formation. That's something a bit different from the Nukeshot Endurance series that you may have seen on the channel. The restarts here are double file. At least on the ovals. It may be single file on road courses. It is Shadow that's going to lead them off in car number 18, the McDonald's Camry, from Ray in the Monster Energy Pipeline Punch Ford. Bass Pro Shops Toyota in third, that is the car 19 of Taters. And DCR Kirby in the 38 in the Nintendo Camry is there on the other side of that row. And in fact, I believe The green flag is out. I believe the leader chooses the side that they restart on, at least in normal NASCAR. It may be the inside is mandatory for all of that. Not too sure, but the two capital cars are up into the top two positions. Does Taters know that Shadow is needing fuel? I mean, you can't push him all the way to the flag, but he's going to try and push him a little bit of the way there. Side by side, cars into the wall. They keep going. Oh, Taters again, nearly. They maintain speed. And the pack has completed a lap. We shouldn't need a caution for any of that. The cars are still going. It looks like Mauro. Again, we hadn't seen Mauro in green flag conditions with the rest of the pack for that long. So now Mauro's starting to be a factor. The KFC car up into the wall. Oh, a bit of smoke happening as well there from contact. 3 wide for the lead. Shadow threads the gap. Threads the eye of the needle. And up into the lead. The horns. Coming up to 7 laps to go here at the Daytona International Speedway. It's money time. The race leader is running out of fuel. Now when he does run out of fuel, that's going to cause chaos because he's going to slow down dramatically in front of the whole field. We've got to watch out for this. There's more contact a bit further back. Cars keep going in a straight line. Shadow's going to run out of fuel any moment now. There it is. The fuel's gone. The fuel's gone. Shadow's made it down to the apron. Thank goodness for that. That got really dicey. It's really dicey at the back. And there's a car in the wall. That's the WeatherTech 12. The WeatherTech 12 goes round. That's Matteo. We're probably going to get a caution for this. Yep. Pits are closed for another caution. Oh, that was a big one. And the caution I thought would come out for the slowing McDonald's car, it was actually for Matteo in the end. Look at that, they were really dueling it out there. Well, they do call it the duel at Daytona for nothing. Well, without... Not for nothing, that's the term I was looking for there. And nearly another wreck there. As Shadow made their way by. This is what Shadow needed. Great break for them. Able to... Or is it because they can't even maintain formation lap speed? This is going to be tricky. I think Shadow's probably just going to go into the pits. Anyway, oh, they've been reset because they've been on the apron. And ironically, there's the rest of the field. He's gone a lap down now because of that. The horns. Oh dear. Oh, getting close to crunch time. But we have been in crunch time. Hope this one doesn't end under the caution. I'm just gonna put this. Shadow keeps getting reset. There we go. Shadow's not being reset this time. Getting good knowledge going into the 250, but what I thought originally was a good break for Shadow being able to catch up, it really hasn't been. The pits still haven't opened for the rest of them. Not too sure if there'll be any takers, really. Looks like everyone's good for fuel. It's just been Shadow, who is a lap down, only the one. He'll not be allowed to re-overtake the field, I believe. I could be mistaken. It could be a wave around, but this late on I'm not too sure if there will be. Oh, he's actually 2 laps down, so oh no, it's 1.5. So it will be 1. I think we might have a 1-lap shootout by the end of this. And if it does end under caution, then Kirby, who was absolutely nowhere on the strategy, was running by himself because he didn't pit under any of the other cautions. He'll end up winning this thing and taking pole position for the Daytona 250 if things stay as they are. I suspect pits may open this time by. Yep, pits are open. Shadow has caught up, but will stay at the back of the field. He didn't take tyres through all of that. So, gotta really watch out for that car again, because look at that rear right. Okay, Shadow's gone by now. I didn't see anything about an official wave by procedure. Dominic is into the pits, the only one to do so. New tyres. The tyres weren't really that worn. I don't know if I'd give up track position for that. Maybe he was at the back anyway. Hope you're all enjoying this. Be sure to leave a like if you are. Oh, there's contact under caution. What was going on there with Matteo? But thankfully they both keep going. Yeah, be sure to leave a like. Consider subscribing for the rest of the season here on Nukeshot Media. This is the Capital NASCAR Cup Series. Oh, what on earth? What's happened there? Some vengeance being meted out here. The tempers are high. Let's see what happened here. I don't know what I was thinking there. Spinning out Mateus under caution. Stewards may have a look at that one. Of course, they'll have all the data and the time especially to look through that. And it looks like it has been redressed anyway, because Mateus is back in their correct position. It could be, if we go green this time by, a 2-lap shootout. The race director hasn't said anything about going green this time by, to my knowledge. Oh, there it is. There it is. Green flag officially, and his Tatus that is up into the lead from that. Oh, bit of squabbling. That was car 5. Oh, car 5 somehow holds on to that. I do not know how. It is a 2-lap dash for the Duel at Daytona, and that all-important pole position for the 250. That'll be 100 laps compared to this 50, so if you've enjoyed this race, you've got it and double to look forward to in the future. Matteo goes up the middle. Matteo to the lead of this one. White flag here at Daytona. The top two starting to break away a bit. Taylor's looking to the high side. Matteo holding position in that 12, trying to keep the others behind. There goes Dominic. Dominic to the outside with 3 wide. We're 4 wide momentarily. Mauro going below the yellow line. Putting 2 wheels below the yellow line anywhere. It looks like Matteo goes for there. There's a car airborne. Car 72 gets air. Mauro. The caution is out. The caution is out. That is Mauro going to win the duel at Daytona. Wow. What a dramatic conclusion to this one. And Mauro, who looked out of it early on, got back into the slipstream pack with the cautions and finds their way to victory lane. And their brother taking 2nd place as well. Great day for, is it Panamanian race fans? Race fans from Panama. That's probably the more likely to be correct for that anyway. I'll have to ask him after this. Mateus 3rd on track. 4th for Taters. Ray taking 5th, but led an awful lot of laps today. Kirby in 6th. Dominic 7th, and Shadow in 8th place, running out of fuel. Wow, what a race that was. But that car going airborne, Dominic Kubinski, what a scary moment. They're 3 wide on the cool down lap. There is Dominic. His car is still going. Looks like he's okay, he's moving in the car. It isn't just drifting around by itself. Well, again, if you want to be part of the action here on Nukeshot Media, be sure to check out the link in the description. It takes you to the Nukeshot Discord server, and from there I'll be able to guide you over to this particular league, the Capital NASCAR Cup Series. It is victory for Mauro, up 7 positions for the duel at Daytona. Congratulations to them. Gonna save that replay. Here are the results then by the end of it. Mauro taking the win from Matteo, and then Mateus taking the final podium position there. 4th place for Taters. He looked really strong towards the end of that one. Ray, after leading a lot of laps, has to settle for 5th place. We'll be hoping for a better result at the 250. Kirby also. Kirby was, if it stayed under caution, Kirby would have won this race. But unfortunately, that wasn't the way it was for Kirby. Thankfully for us, though, because we got some action towards the end. Dominic, in the end, 7th place again, getting airborne right at the end was the final caution. And Shadow with that fuel miscalculation, not pitting when they needed to, and then getting reset, constantly using the apron. They end up in 8th place, and of course Oreo, unfortunate DNF, was a relatively last minute field filler, so we thank them for the time that they were here. Hopefully they'll be back for the 250 in slightly more appropriate livery, legal livery for the series. We'll see how that goes. So from all of us here on Nukeshot Media, we hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you have done. Consider subscribing for the rest of the season. In a week's time, if all goes to plan, the Daytona 250. This, but twice the distance. We hope to see you here once again. From all of us here at Nukeshot Media, it's goodbye from us.